ready? Hello, family. Hello, family. How is everybody doing this Monday evening? Whoop, whoop. Hello, you love Lucy. Mwah. Welcome to Twitch, my girl. Welcome. And everybody, we have a big welcome. We have a searing welcome to the Overwatch family and welcome to the pharah family, to my new friend, Jeannie Bolet, who's the voice of Echo. Hello, babe. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me on your show. That was such a lovely.
Thank you for being on. I'm so happy that you're here. This is great. This is awesome. Look at this. Everybody's here. They're Echo.
I'm such a Luddite. I have how do I see everyone? I'm really bad at tech. No, really bad.
There's a sidebar that's rolling and it's people are just doing it. But I can tell you some wonderful people who are all saying hello. Sandwich Girl and Assassin Volpe and Taylor Tano is saying icons, and David is going ha, and Maisie Grubb is going Echo, and Japanese Panda is saying welcome Echo, and Lady Lilith Goddess is saying hi, and Ali32 is saying she's gorgeous. Right? How freaking gorgeous is she? Right? You're totally gorgeous. You're beauteous. Oh my God. Lucy and I were saying how beautiful you are when we spoke earlier today.
Gorgeous. And you're embarrassing me now, so.
Oh, a little embarrassment's good. The high flush to your cheeks. Yay. Oh, so nice. Oh, Maisie's saying, Jeannie, you're so sweet, it hurts. I know she is, right? So wait, do you play guitar? We're looking at your guitars behind you.
Badly, yes. And I play ukulele badly. But it doesn't stop me because
I have been wanting to learn how to play ukulele for like 20 years. This has been a mission of mine that I've never completed. When did you start playing?
So my brother bought this for me a couple of years ago, and he brought it over to the States because he's in England. And he said, look, you're not getting anywhere with that guitar. So here's a ukulele. Things, the chords, or I don't read music. I read the tabs, so it's literally just a visual of where you put your fingers. And it's just easy. And one of the first songs that I learned was Patti Smith's because I love it, and it's pretty easy. I still need to look at the music, the tabs when I'm playing it, but you get to have your own sing-along and feel slightly accomplished at playing a musical instrument with ukulele. So take it up and then we can jam together.
I mean, I can't even believe I haven't. It's one of those things that's like, how have you never done this in your life? I had had a vision of this character. It was like a stand-up character thing where I would very seriously like approach the stage with a ukulele case covered in like stickers from venues all over the world and different airlines and airports. And there was this thing about ferociously playing the ukulele to Is She Really Going Out With Him? I don't know what, and I haven't done it. And it's like 20 years and I haven't done it.
Jen, I can teach you. I can play guitar. Easy.
Really?
Yeah, easy.
Can you?
Of course.
Okay. I should do this and then we could do a duet.
Yes. It's Joe Jackson, right?
Yes.
That's such a good song.
Yes, but this like fiery, angry, vicious version to ukulele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be so happy, but also kind of chaotic, and then the themselves will just be like, "What? Yeah, do it. I'm there with you."
But you've done it. But you're already doing it. So how long were you playing guitar before your brother decided that you needed to be downgraded?
Oh, forever. And look, I do it intermittently. I am one of these people that loves to pick up different things to do, and then I go, oh, I've had enough fun there, and I'll just move on to something else. So, and I think that bothers a lot of people because, you know, people want you to do one thing and they want you to do it really well. And that's just not, that's, you know, I'm human and I want to try everything, even if I'm not great at it. I'm gonna do it.
I am a firm believer in passionate dilettantism. I love it. Big time, big time. I think that you need to like throw yourself into each thing and not be afraid to suck
Yeah.
and just try it and see how it goes. I love that. That's an excellent skill. Oh wait, Maisie Grove is noticing the nice tattoo you have on your wrist there, girl.
5-pointed star. And when I got it done, there's five of us in my family. My mom, my late father, and my two brothers and myself. And so, you know, it's like I thought, well, I should have some meaning behind it instead of just slap that on me. Although there's nothing wrong with doing that as well. If you like something and it just looks good, do it. It's fine.
Why not? Yeah, no, it's
me. This is my fam. This is my fam.
I love that. Yeah. How long have you had that?
I moved to LA in 2005. And so that's when I did it. Because everybody that comes to LA, they're like, oh, I'm going to get a tattoo. I'm going to get tattoos all over, you know. And I thought, well, I don't know if it's a good idea to get them all over, although I would love to. I have a Pinterest board and it just has so many different tattoos. And I keep thinking, well, where would I get that? And would it be easy to cover up? And that, you know, because you think about that.
Oh, sweet. How many more do you have?
I don't.
The one that, and then just a board.
Yeah, that's it. There's no more. There will be. I just don't know when. Maybe, I don't know. At some point, but it's that thing where I have makeup artists who are friends, and they're like, it's so difficult to cover up. It takes so much time. So then I'm quite considerate, and I think, well, I'm not going to get it done because it'll just take too much time in production when they're getting ready, or yeah. But no, that's the one thing I need to get over that and just do it for myself.
I like when people get like all the little tiny ones. They have like millions of tiny ones because it's like a little bit of cover up. It's like, beep, oh, yeah. It's gone. Beep, oh, it's like a little tiny nothing. That's nice.
Yeah. But I'd also love a big, I don't know, I'd love sleeves. Dragons.
I told Miranda to get a face tat with me and she refuses, so.
Oh, come on. You can't get a face tat. You're hysterical.
I say do it, but you know you have to live with that
right.
on the
right.
So, you know. You could just paint it on your face at first and then walk around for a week.
I gotta commit.
No, I love like when you go to a boardwalk or if you go to like Coney Island or in Venice Beach and they have all the henna artists and you can get something that'll last you a week or two. I'll get all inked up and I get like all tribal ones on my fingers and I'll get like, you know, biceps and shoulders and all because it's a week. Right. Exactly. I'm like, okay, I can live with this for 2 weeks. I would love this for 2 weeks. It's perfect. Yes. But yeah, beyond it's hard. Oh yeah. People are getting them.
Want me and Miranda get one? Yes.
Your writing is me saying to tell her to get you one with her.
I don't know. That's not.
That was not me, Miranda. That was not me who wrote that. He's hysterical. No, I have no tattoos. The hilarious story with me and tattoos is that I passionately wanted a tattoo that I'm now really happy I didn't get when I was I think I was a sophomore in college. I really wanted a yin and yang inside of a Jewish star to represent my, you know, being a Jewish existentialist and my coming to this philosophical realization. And I really wanted this on, was it on my hip or on my ankle? It was some like fakakta, whatever, something. And of course, my mother would like flipped out and was like, "You're Jewish, you can't get a tattoo," and blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't care. This represents where I'm at philosophically and the whole. And so she said, "Fine, if you can get permission from the rabbi, then you get a tattoo." That was Maria. And sorry, guys. And so I know I'm like, oh. um, so so I called my rabbi back in New Jersey, and I started a 6-week long dialectical discussion about the merits of tattoos and how the actual line in scripture that says you can't have tattoos is a line that says you may not make cuttings to make decorations.
Wow.
And that, but that would also apply to ear piercings. And I didn't know any Jewish ladies who didn't have a million ear piercings. And I was like, okay, so what the hell? So I threw this on the table to the rabbi, and the rabbi loved it because he didn't have like chain smoking wannabe existentialists up in Boston calling him for rabbinical tattoo permission very much. And so we ended up agreeing that it should be under the same jurisdiction, and that the origin of the line of dialogue directly was referring to ear piercings because, and this goes back to Passover family, when the Jews got out of Egypt, they've been enslaved, and then they get out of slavery. And some people, when they get out of slavery, they don't really like freedom. Freedom isn't their thing. They want to go back into slavery. They want to be indentured servants. And so God made a deal with those servants 7 years. But that if they choose to stay in servitude beyond that, they had to pierce their left ear to show that there's something wrong with their hearing, that they didn't know that they were the chosen people of God and that they're supposed to be free. And so it's like that there's something wrong with you if you make cuttings to make decorations on yourself.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I got the rabbinical yes, and I call my mother and I'm like, I got the yes. I'm going for my ink. And she was shocked, and she was like, oh, okay, fine. And then once that happened, I didn't need the freaking tattoo anymore. So it was over. So no tattoo. So I don't have any ink.
You just won the battle. You just won the battle with the rabbi and with your mom, and
Well, it was.
then you were like, I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, I was 16 years old, and I was going to have a tattoo done by this guy in Birkenhead, which is off of the Wirral Peninsula. So I'm from Liverpool, and across the Mersey is, and I know that you've been to Liverpool recently.
Lucy and I were just there. We loved it.
So across the water, it's the Wirral, and there's a place called Birkenhead, and there's this amazing tattoo artist there. And so I go one day. It's probably about 2 weeks before school's out for summer, and I pick out this tattoo, and it's a dragon tattoo. Here, just right here, and I guess it would have been kind of similar to the one that Angelina Jolie has, which is great. I'm glad I didn't get it, but here's the reason why. I show up at the tattoo parlor 2 weeks later. My oldest brother is with me, Marcel, and I go inside, and the guy says, so he's got a really thick Liverpool accent. He goes, yeah, Gail, sit down. So I go, oh, Gail, sit down. He says, I can't give you the tattoo because there was a fella in here last week, and he told me that you were 15. Who could it have been? And then I realized I know who it was. It was this guy who was like part of another. So we were all rockers. We were all like into metal, and it was one of those guys from one of the gangs. And my brother, meantime, is outside, standing on the bench outside, looking over the window that peeks into where the actual tattoo parlor is, and he's like, "What's going on? What's happening?" So he said, "I can't do this tattoo for you because you're underage. It's not worth me losing my license. And if you really want it, you'll come back in 2 to 3 years, and it'll still be here for you." So I walked out with my tail between my legs. I just felt so not bad, but just defeated. I was like,
yes.
Oh, this grown-up has told me I can't have a tattoo. And honestly, I'm actually very grateful, because I would probably have wanted to cover it up with something else. I probably would have wanted to change it, but yeah, that's my tattoo.
And who knows who this artist, I mean, this artist could have been like, giving you some horrible melting dragon.
And he was brilliant.
He was brilliant. Okay.
brilliant. He did the alien with the baby alien coming out of its mouth. It was like perfect, fine pencil detail, shading, highlights. It was, you looked at it and it looked like it had just come out of all of this goo, and it was so beautiful. So I knew he was a good tattoo artist, but c'est la vie.
There you go. There you go. Okay, well, see, so it was meant. Talk about difficult to cover up. That would have been like a big slab of dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. So wait, okay. So you grew up in Liverpool with the two brothers. What you tell me about your background. Tell me about who, how, what. Tell me.
So I'm Chinese, Vietnamese. There's supposed to be a little French in there. And I was born in England. So my mum and dad ended up in England. A lot of people ask, they're like, how do you end up there when your parents are Asian, Southeast Asian? Hong Kong was part of England. It was part of the Commonwealth. So my mum and dad just they decided they wanted to go over to England and have a new life. So they went over there. I was born in Liverpool. And I'm trying to think what else. I don't think I'm a very interesting person. So.
Well, Harley, you told me though that you speak not very good Cantonese.
Yeah.
You said like I was very impressed. That's pretty good.
Really bad Cantonese. I really want to start a club where us awful Cantonese speakers can get together and just speak pidgin, so that we can pidgin together. Yeah.
Pidgin together.
Yeah.
Pidgin. So we were talking about doing all of the different things and about dilettantism, but you are an actress, writer, producer, voice actress, the whole freaking gamut. You've done a whole bunch of things and continue, and guitarist and tattoo aficionado. Look at this. And pâte sucre maker. We were talking about what's in our refrigerators and what we're cooking, and Jeannie she doesn't bake, but she does make pâte sucre, which is pretty impressive. It's
like a sugar pastry, right? I mean, it's in the name. It's a sugar pastry. Sugar pastry, and so I'm gonna make a loquat. Inundating my Instagram with loquats because I have a loquat tree, and honestly, I'm clearly not creating any other content that's visible. So I'm like, loquats are going to have their day.
Yes. Yes. I'm obsessed with having fruit trees. I feel like people in California take it for granted and don't understand that it's magic, that it's like having a golden goose in your backyard. Like nobody understands how special it is.
Yeah. We have a lime tree that is just, she just keeps giving. It's brilliant. Because then when you make a margarita, you don't have to go out to get limes, or it's just there. You just have to go out to get the mezcal or tequila.
I think it's magic. I have a friend with an avocado tree, and I literally just go out and just gaze into the avocado tree. I just can't believe that it exists.
Holy grail for me. That's the
Yeah, in New York, it's impossible to get limes delivered. I was trying to get limes delivered to Ness, and it was just impossible. It was not happening. I know, or lime juice or anything lime based. It is
not possible. It's an essential.
Happening. Yeah, exactly. Heaven 7-Eleven, exactly. Mickey, an essential luxury. Exactly. Yes. True.
Yeah.
It's totally true. Wait, but let's talk about Echo. So, all right. I don't think you're a gamer.
No, I like to watch. I mean, I like to watch when my husband's playing different games. I'll watch, and then I get bossy, But I'm not a gamer. I feel like the last game that I played was one of those puzzle games like Monument Valley or something like that,
Totally.
And I asked my husband constantly, can we get a joystick? That's how old I am. I'm like, can we get a joystick? Because I feel like I would be able to play better. Because there's just, it's like on the old PlayStation. It's just too. And I don't have that great hand-eye coordination that so many people have grown up with.
The worst, terrible. I have terrible hand-eye coordination, like a joke. I would do much better with a joystick. I'm with you completely.
I found out firsthand Jen's ability to play video
He
games.
knows. I'm really terrible. I'm incredibly terrible. I'm magically terrible. So Taylor is saying, does your husband play Overwatch?
He did play the day that Echo dropped. So yeah, we have a PlayStation. He was like, "Oh my god, I'm so bad! Oh, people are killing me so quickly!" Oh! Yeah, really play this game, babes. You know, you've got to practice. Maybe practice sort of. I don't even know how to say it, guys. How do I say it? Is there a practice zone?
Absolutely.
There are practice modes. Yes.
I've been over this with Jen. Yeah.
Yes. Ness had to show me. He had to teach me all this.
Yeah. But yes, he has played. I think when I play, I'll probably hop on under his name. But yeah, I'll let you guys know.
Keep us posted. Keep us posted. We could try training mode together. Oh my god. We'll have to do it under other names. Wait, Alex Velasquez just said, imagine listening to your wife in a video game. Amazing. My son and my nephew lose their minds. I think my husband would be like, but like Mickey and my nephew Manny, they're like very impressed with that part. Mickey's not a gamer, but he likes hearing me in the game. It's very cute.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Yeah, I think he thinks it's like, oh, that's cool. My friends' kids, they're like, what? No, you don't know Echo. Shut up. No. And they're like, yes, it's Jeannie, remember? And they go, oh, and I think, oh my God, that's so sweet. What can I say that is even remotely Overwatch like? And you know, and I'm like, something about tell him to move the payload. Yeah, I think it's really sweet, you know.
But no, you get to say everything. You get to say all the lines. Tell me what that, like, were you told before you recorded those lines, did you have to listen to everybody do their ults to be copying something, or you just do the lines?
So I was told that I would have to do it. So mentally they kind of prepared me. And then the next session I came in and they were literally like, these are the lines. They put them in front of me. And then I got to hear the line maybe once or twice, especially if it's in a different language, because, you know, I speak horrible Cantonese and English fairly well. But it was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to give it a go phonetically. So, you know, it was kind of on the fly, and then I just did it.
I would say as someone that speaks Spanish, you did Sombras very well.
I did. Oh, thank you.
Yay.
I took 3 years of high school Spanish. So, you know, and I've said this to Carolina, Castellano Spanish. So, you know, it's a little bit different. But yeah, everybody's lines they were fun. They were fun to do. Some of them more challenging than others.
What was the hardest? Do you remember? Do you remember what was hard?
And Hanzo. I don't even have it in front of me, but I just
no, you don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, please don't put me on the spot.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm not putting you on the spot. Definitely not. No, but yeah, but you just remember that those were the ones that you were like,
yeah, they were a little difficult. And then Symmetra, Anjali's line, I love how Hindi sounds. And coming from England, you have a really big Indian population there as well. So I felt like that was fun to say, but at the same time, so it felt like a tongue twister, you know. So good.
I think my personal favorite one you do is Sigma's because of how loud he has to be.
Love Sigma. I love Sigma, and I've said this before, because I love how he is driven crazy by the universe, trying to demystify the mysteries of the universe. I just love that.
It's true. That's so good. Tell me about getting cast. Tell me about, like, did you know what you were auditioning for? Did you audition for it with a code name? What did you know? Tell me about your getting cast process.
So getting cast, what happened was they sent me a breakdown, and it was for Blizzard. So the standard, right? You know,
Right.
you get an email from your agent that says, there's a new character, blah, blah, blah. It's for Blizzard. And they gave me a breakdown of who she is in terms of kind of flavor and character. So we knew that she was Asian, some kind of Asian. They did not say what. They gave me this description of her being a pilot, very pragmatic, and someone who learns very quickly and does things on the fly, but also very positive as well. And then at the bottom of it, it said, "Oh, and she's a robot." But they just want you to read it as a robot. So I thought, okay, so she's this advanced AI. Let's just do it as me, but as if I was super clever. so really, that's pretty much what I did. I just went in there. So when I say I went in there, I went into a VO studio where you go and pay them for 15-20 minutes of using the studio. I had somebody do all the engineering and recording and editing, and then they just sent me into the audition off, and that was it.
Boom.
Boom.
And that was it, and done. And now, was there, like, it depends on who you talk to from the cast. Some people had a callback situation. Some people did not have. I didn't have a callback situation, but other people did. Did you, or no?
No, I didn't. I think I heard back about 1 or 2 weeks later that I booked the role, and then obviously they gave full disclosure. This game is Overwatch. You are going to be the newest character, and I was like, okay, what does that mean? So then I looked.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like, great, I'm working. And then my husband, he said, I think that's a pretty big game. Yeah, let's go ahead and look it up. So he said, oh yeah, that's definitely a big game, and these are all the fellow voice actors who you're doing this family. And that's when I started getting really nervous. I was like, oh,
wait, hold on, wait,
world is people hearing my game. So and yeah, so from there I go in for my first session, and they show me an unfinished version of her origin animation. Because obviously I've got to put some of my lines in there as well.
Right.
But yeah, I thought, wow, she's a pretty cool character, and I was going to say, I relate to her a lot, because sometimes I feel like I'm such a late bloomer, and I feel like she is a bit of a late bloomer in the sense that she's still learning these things, and she's very positive about it, So, and also she likes to do everything, clearly, because she's doing, because her ult is duplicating everybody else. So I was like, yeah, I kind of like doing that too. So
like, that's familiar. That's something we do.
Like, maybe we are similar. I'm not sure. Maybe.
It's fascinating coming from the Overwatch community side of this stuff, because as soon as the character got released, I saw people commenting on who's the voice actress, who's the voice, like everyone's trying to find out who it is. And then as soon as they found you, I saw your numbers just hit from 1,000 to 2,000, 3,000, keep going. I'm like, oh my god, the community is wild. Like I was wondering, like, what is this like? Like you just explained, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was really, I mean, that was surreal, because I'm quite private, and it's just strange all of a sudden when you have people asking questions, and just having this attention that I haven't had before. But everyone was really sweet. Everyone was asking really lovely questions, or they were just welcoming me and saying, you did a great job, welcome to the family. I don't know if I just saw a question there. Someone saying, by the way, Echo might turn evil in Overwatch.
Yes.
Question mark.
Yes.
No. I mean, look, she likes to do it all. So whatsoever, I'm just the voice actress. I have no idea. But yeah, just going back to the fans and everybody who plays Overwatch. it
I,
has
s-
reached.
I saw you had fan art like day one. That was insane already too. The character.
Echo, yes, yeah, yeah. It's awesome. The fan art out there is. Can I swear on this, or am I not?
Yes, swear away. Absolutely. Swear. We all love to. Go for it.
People are so talented out there, and a little known secret about me is that I went to art school. My major was fashion with illustration, and so yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, am I going to be a writer? Shall I go to university to to study literature, or do I go and do and so anyway, just getting back to it really quickly, I love all of the illustrations that I'm seeing out there. I'm just like, oh, you make me want to pick up a pen and just doodle. Not even doodle, they're not doodling, they're actually making amazing art, and it is, you guys are fucking amazing.
You're killing me. I didn't know about your fashion background. I didn't know that we share a fashion background. I had no idea. And we have some of our amazing fan artists like Heaven 711 Mickey are also chiming in and going like, "Oh my god," because they know that where all of my interests collide, so that you also get the art and the fashion and the whole thing. No, it's amazing. The work is so incredible and everyone is so fast. I mean, that's the thing I can never get over. Like the moment that a picture is out or that an update is out or a new skin is out or whatever, within an hour, that within 2 hours, like a whole world of fan art it comes out it's outrageous. It's like
Yeah,
unbelievable and overwhelming and so flattering and so exciting.
it's so flattering, and from that fashion aspect as well, when these new skins come out, I'm like, oh yeah, I really like that one. Oh, stealth mode has actually grown on me now. Ooh. you know
Oh, that one's good. I like that one. Yeah, that's yeah.
like,
The,
the one that people call like the Iron Man one, the red one. I don't know if that's a legendary one, guys, you can correct me, it's fine. But that one, I thought, yes, I love red, it's beautiful, it looks shiny, she looks great. And at first, oh, very utilitarian. That, I mean, yes, it looks good, and then it's really grown on me. Just the structure of it and everything. But that's fashion. You might not like
yes.
it, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, yes, 100%.
Now it's speaking to me. Now I'm getting it. Now it's hitting my zeitgeist buttons. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I get it. Oh, that's so funny. So wait, you also have been in. Wait, hold on a second. I'm looking for. Oh, it's Quantum Break is the other game. That's another game that you're in.
Yes.
I don't know anything about Quantum Break. I know nothing. Guys, you
Oh
know much
man, I
more.
know Quantum Break. What?
I don't, but you're in Quantum Break. Who are you in Quantum Break? Tell me.
I am Clarice Ogawa, and there's a story behind that. So with a lot of video games, actors don't have a say in any of it. You show up and you do the work. Whether it's voice work or whether it's motion capture. So this is gossip. This is so much gossip.
Mm.
I'm going to share.
Guys, let's play. We are not a gossipy group, but we're getting a little gossip. It's fun to be on the inside. It's fun to hear. Okay.
It's just sometimes how the industry can work. But on Quantum Break,
Cheese man.
The role that I was cast for was one of the leads. And we went to Finland and we shot a bunch of stuff. We did the motion capture for it. We were there doing table reads. And then a couple of months went by, which ended up being a year, which ended up being 2 years. And we were like, they're reworking. Something's going on here. And the next thing you know, they'd recast pretty much the entire cast. They went full A-list, which at the time I know was happening with a lot of games. So it's like they do what's kind of trending within the industry, and I completely understood. But it was a bit of a shock. So when I did go in to do the motion capture for Clarice, they had pretty much changed her from being full on action, badass girl, gun wielding, former military person to being this interrogator who opens the game. And I believe she also closes the game as well, but she wasn't a playable character. So I still had a lot of fun there, but I think just that experience of, wow, anything can change. And it's the same if it's film and TV, if it's video game, you can get recast, you can get bumped up or out, and those are just the breaks. That is literally just how it works. And you're either going to have to get a thick skin, or, it might take a minute for you to realize that, wait a second, okay, all right, people are going to do what's best for the game. At the end of the day, you do what's best for the project. So but I got to act opposite Shawn Ashmore, who is adorable and really wonderful. And I loved, on the day that we were filming, they threw me a script and they said, oh, we just threw in this monologue for you as well here. And so we'll give you like 5 or 10 minutes just to get it done. And I was like, wait, what? Oh, okay. And the cool thing was, we did it. And from someone like Shawn Ashmore, he was like, way to go. You just like throw her a monologue and 5 minutes later, she's just doing it. And coming from someone like that, who's had international success and is recognized, obviously from doing the X-Men, who's calling? No, thank you.
Bye, sorry.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Jencohn, everyone.
Don't you know who I am? Don't call now.
Yes. So, but yeah, just being able to work with him, I was like, I take the good from it all. I'll take the good from it. Yeah.
It is a very good lesson to learn from it. And that is a very good attitude to have about it. When those things have happened, and of course they happen, because anyone who's a performer, an actor, a voice actor, a performer of any kind, getting to that place where you can realize that, like, oh, this has nothing to do with my performance. This has nothing to do with the job that I did. This is literally them needing to serve the story or the project or the investors or whatever in a different way than wherever my placement is taking it. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's a difficult thing.
It is, but you touch on exactly what it is. It's, like the investor or whoever's writing the check has the final say. Story scope changes. There's just a lot of different things that are happening, and it's like completely out of my control. And when you it just doesn't feel so,
right? Or like when you've done like some incredibly great scene and you know that it was great and you know that you crushed it, and and then you see a final cut and it's gone and you're like, and somehow it just when they were cutting it together and telling the story, it didn't suit the story and your thing didn't, and it's like, I ended on the cutting room floor, and it's like killer. It's deadly.
Tell me about it.
And so realizing that it's not you.
Yes. Yeah, completely. Sometimes you just, if you get into that creative headspace, it's realizing what's serving the story. And if it isn't, just tighten it up so that we can move the story along. So yeah, lots of lessons to be learned there. And that's just the nature of our business. Yeah.
Yeah. Hard pill to swallow. Hard. But it sometimes can be a little bit easier when you're creating your own material, when you're writing your own project and producing your own project and telling your own story and doing that, which you, Jill of all trades, do. You're just telling me about the other projects that you're working on, that you're developing a video game with your husband. You're creating one right now. Will you tell me about that?
Yeah, we are early days. It's me writing it because it stems from a story that my dad used to tell me when I was a little girl. And I can't really say too much about it, but it's Jungle Book-esque in a way. And because of my Vietnamese heritage, you know, there's a lot of that in there too. But my husband is this amazing illustrator, designer. He's also a jack of all trades in the sense that he's just really great at illustration, designing, rigging, um, working in Maya, working in After Effects. He's like this amazing one-man band of digital arts, you know, and where those digital arts can kind of go. Um, so yeah, we're just very early stages. I've been talking to a couple of game producers, and right now it's just networking and getting ideas of, you know, where do I go with this? What do I do? You know, is Apple Arcade a viable platform? You know, or you know, do we look at something else? Or blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is story, because there's nothing. So that's what we're focusing on right now. And whenever we get to whatever that finish line looks like, wherever, whenever that is, then there'll be more to tell about it. But right now, early days, work in progress.
But you've written films, you've written shorts, you've written pilots. I don't know if you've written full TV series or not, but I know you're one who makes lots of content. What so far, what makes writing a game different?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm like sitting here going, what makes it? Because it is so different. I feel like it's more complex. I feel like in certain ways it's much more complex. When I was working on the Old Republic, I remember them explaining to me that there was a room of a dozen writers who would sit, and they were storyboarding for years,
Yeah.
about following what would happen if this, then that, and because it's so choose your own adventure playing that game. And
Yeah.
I remember just my mind being blown at the thought of this room full of these diehard lifelong Star Wars fans
Yeah.
getting to spend their days just storyboarding what would happen in a galaxy far, far away. Like, it was so extraordinary. I would think that there's something kind of epic and enormous and, I don't know, more imminently possible in designing a game than even where you're creating your own universe in TV or in film.
I think you, okay, so from an independent and indie perspective, let's talk about TV for a second. If I'm writing this and I don't have anybody who's making it, and I decide, let's get some friends together, let's go ahead and put some money aside and we will shoot this ourselves. When you're writing, you write with your budget in mind almost. Not that you should, but it's just you have to think about, well, what locations can I get? And are we going to get these for free? Or I'm trying to think what else. So it kind of limits your imagination. But I feel like if you're creating a video game or something that could potentially be a video game, I feel like your imagination knows no limits. And you can just, you can just put it out there. You can just throw those ideas out there. No one's going to tell you that they're not going to work, because you're still in a work in progress. Whereas you know that if you're going to film in a restaurant, or you're filming in an ice rink or a roller rink, you're going to have to pay for that, unless you know the person owns it, or or you're shooting at midnight and nobody's around, so you get a cheap rate. So I think with video game, I mean, I'm still new to that platform for storytelling too. My husband is the person that you should be speaking to about that.
Well, but you're writing both. So I'm asking you because you're new to it, and just I'm curious about the difference. So it's
well, I'm not writing dialogue. So that, you have this stream of consciousness. Whereas if you're writing dialogue, you're making sure that dialogue is moving the story along for the most part. I don't like to be too formulaic. It's just not how I roll. But at the same time, someone who's going to give you money to make, whether it's a TV show or a video game, they might ask, well, how does this serve the project? Whereas if I was in France or in England, it would be, oh, well, they're just having a stream of consciousness and they're talking about something. Story along, but it's a slice, So I don't know if you can have that much of a slice of life in a video game, or but with a video game, all I can say, and because I'm new, at even considering wanting to create one is it's about story. So just,
Yeah.
I don't give up on that. It's what's truthful to me.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if I'm bringing in elements of the real world into it, hopefully I'm honoring those elements as well, unless I'm sprinkling a bit of fantasy and magic onto it. And
I think that if you inject truth into fantasy and magic and imaginary environments and impossibilities, so long as there's truth in there, of course of course it will all resonate. Of course it will feel universal. I mean, that's the beauty of Overwatch. That's what I feel like. That's what makes it resonate so much with everyone. Like there's such incredible truths in it, even in this fantastical world where we all have these incredible skills. I mean, it's and abilities. It's outrageous, and yet there are such hard truths in it.
Yeah, and don't even get me started on the origin stories with Overwatch and animated shorts. I spent the weekend, not this weekend, one before, watching them, and literally my heart was just going all over the place. This roller coaster of where they've come from, or how they were created, or what their purpose is, and it's really emotional. Okay.
It is. It is. Oh my god.
All right. So currently, the entirety of Twitch is something's happening.
I know. I'm looking in the stream, and it looks like everybody's having a completely impossible time. That nothing's loading. Everyone's losing their badges. What's going on?
It's not just us. It's literally all of Twitch, because I'm trying to watch any other stream and they're not working either. But we can keep going and save the VOD. And if that breaks too, I'm recording it on my computer itself, so we're all good.
You are.
I am.
When I saw that happening, I said to myself, "Oh my god, I don't think that I'm recording the Zoom." So thank you, Anthony.
I got you.
Thank you for
well,
having
well. Before you say,
how amazing is Ness? Ness thinks of everything.
Before you say that, I started it when it's starting breaking, and I was like, if it
never mind. He doesn't think of everything. He thinks of everything later when things start going wrong. He thinks of things.
No, well,
I'm
knowing.
So grateful.
I'm knowing it's gonna cut the VOD. It's gonna cut the VOD where it stops, and then I'll have the rest of it, so it's fine.
Totally fine. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We're good.
Mwah, perfect.
We're good.
Should I hit record too on Zoom and then just we've got both?
If you want,
you did.
But I got it.
Okay.
I have it. Yeah.
Thank you, babe. Okay. Good. I'm always so grateful. I don't care when he starts recording. It's all good. He's the best. It's true. That's hysterical. Tell me. I want to hear about saving face. I'm asking you all these questions about your own project. I'm telling you because I am a huge believer in creating your own opportunities and creating your own platforms and creating your own work and creating the gigs that you want to have. I mean, I feel like once you've gotten your career to a place that it's financially self-sustaining enough that you're able to make your own opportunities and make your own work and make your own stuff. It's the most incredible privilege in the world to be when you're at a place that you can do that. So, and I love doing that. And once you're doing that, sky's the fucking limit. Like, what can't you make once you can do that? So as a kindred spirit and as a content creator and as this is the thing I want to be doing, that's the thing I'll be making. This is how I will be best used. This is the way to use my abilities best. Yeah. So I'm asking you about this because I love that you're doing all of these things. So tell me about this. I want to hear about Saving Face.
So Saving Face is based loosely on my own life. After fashion school, I became a makeup artist because illustration and
art, beauty, of course.
I never designed clothes for guys, and I'm not too sure why not, but I just love drawing women and doing their makeup, and every single detail went into the design of the clothing, how their faces looked, how their hair looked. And I thought, wow, this would be really interesting if I just took a side step and actually work with humans instead of paper. Mm-hmm. Learn to draw on a computer or a Cintiq or any of those things. always paper, pen, watercolor, ink kind of person. But then when I started doing makeup, I got a lot of breaks. I had a lot of friends who were photographers, and they were just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do a shoot. Do you want to come along and do it? I can't pay you, but I can pay you a kit fee." Like, that's fine. You can pay me a kit fee. I can buy more makeup. I'm building my kit.
Great.
So from being a makeup artist, I met a lot of people. Obviously, they sit in your chair and they share everything with you.
Mm-hmm. It's so intimate. It's so intimate when you're doing people's makeup. Yeah.
You become a psychiatrist, or a therapist. And there are a lot of stories that inspired Saving Face, because I realized, wow, there are a lot of people who are just trying to hide who they are, and as soon as you put makeup on, it's like, you can become a different person. You can be more confident. You can feel empowered. You can feel. I mean, I think makeup is a wonderful thing. I also think it's great to be able to show who you are as well without it.
Yes.
There is something about, there's a ritual about putting makeup on. It's almost like a ceremony of meeting yourself at the mirror.
It's your war paint. It's putting on your face. It's all. I mean, it's all
of those.
How do you present? It's fascinating how people's relationship to makeup, their own relationship to makeup, and what it means to them. I mean, there's such a project in that. So that's
Totally. So I had a lot of situations, a lot of instances where someone would tell me something, whether it's a deep, dark secret or how they were feeling. And, and there's part of me that wished that they could have a resolve, that I wanted them to have a happy ending, not necessarily a Disney ending, but an ending that made them feel, I've overcome something, or I've got through it and I no longer feel a certain way. And it wasn't until it was like maybe about 5 years ago, I started to toy with the idea of it, and also for it to what's the word? I'm spacing on the word right now, but be a metaphor as well for Asian Americans. I'm not American. I've been here for 15 years, so I call myself an Asian American.
Honorary.
So, but just any diaspora, you come from a foreign country, or your parents are from a foreign country, and then you land in a Western country like England or America. And with that comes this sort of tug of war, tug of cultures. And so the Saving Face metaphor of being a makeup artist, but also having this mask so that you can fit into society, or the society that your parents want you to fit into, kind of play together. And I don't know if you've seen the poster for it. My husband drew the poster for it, but it's basically the character Ruby, and she's got lipstick in one hand and her face is literally slipping off like a mask, and there's nothing underneath it. And how I like to call that, and again, I'm still working on it, and because I'm really visual, it helps to have that artwork for the show, so that I can just keep coming back to it. What is the show about? It's about when the mask slips,
Yes.
And we're able to keep masking, keep putting makeup on, or the autistic community, they call it masking as well, when they come face to face with people and they want to be accepted. They're trying to present what society expects from them, so they put on that mask for each encounter that they have. So it kind of encompasses all of that.
And the term for that is masking.
The term for that is masking. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
wow.
I wish we didn't have to. I wish just in general, I wish we didn't have to. I wish we could be taken for face value, because we're all amazing,
Yes, clearly. But no, but we live in a world where, I mean, levels of safety are always, I mean, they're necessary, unfortunately, in particular when you're putting yourself out there. I mean, a thing that I've thought about so many times, it relates to this. I'm just thinking of it. I always thought the people who choose stage names are very smart. Like at the time, I remember when I was first coming out of school and I considered it and I said, did I want a stage name or whatever? And I didn't do it. Thinking like, oh, I'll keep my name. My name will be good. But choosing a stage name means that you're masking, you're protecting your personal self, your space from this person, this character who is invulnerable to rejection and who's invulnerable to criticism and who you are able to take certain risks with this persona much better. I mean, often you'll hear a celebrity or a famous model or whatever refer to themselves in the third person. And I think that that's part of this phenomenon of like, protect. I can stay safe and protected here if I have this mask that I present. And sometimes that's your name and sometimes that's your face and it's a face full of makeup. And it's fascinating.
It really is. I think that it also comes from a defense, survival skill as well. That's been learned a long time ago. From maybe childhood, and you realize, well, in order to be accepted, it works when I am this person, or it works when
this is an acceptable version of me to present. Yeah.
I don't offend people. Whatever your authentic self normally does, and perhaps gone as a response that isn't necessarily kind, or shocked by how you behave. That in itself can shut you down. And when you're trying to make friends out there in the world, or you just want to be accepted, sometimes it is just easier to have that mask.
I feel like this subject is incredibly pertinent right this second during lockdown and during everyone being in quarantine. Because I know for me, and I would have to think with a lot of people, this experience is very much shaking up my picture of who am I in the world. Just in terms of like, as someone who is very concerned in life, in day-to-day life, with my finish, with what I'm wearing, with presenting, with all of that, I never have felt a lack of being in touch with me and self-expression and whatever, but self-expression and isolation is very different. What matters in terms of what I'm self-expressing in isolation is very different than what matters in what I'm expressing when I'm interacting with the world every day.
Yeah.
So in terms of masking, what do you think, how do you think that relationship changes? Oh my God, we're getting so fucking philosophical. Listen to this. I love this. I'm so enjoying this.
It's not for me to take the deep dive. I really do.
I know. No, I haven't done this. I kind of love it. I'm like loving this. What do you think? Because you're someone who's thought about this a lot. How do you think this experience impacts one's masking or one's relationship to one's face that one presents going forward? And you can just whiff with this. It doesn't. I don't need you to. This is not definitive.
I think that. Well, I don't care so much. I don't care. Look, I am a former people pleaser, and I definitely still have residual people pleasing DNA going on in me, and that might just be because of my Asian diaspora upbringing, where you just want to be the good girl. And I want people to like me. And then you realize you can't please everybody. And it still took me a long time to realize, oh, you know what? And I always have felt a little bit on the, I wouldn't say I've necessarily felt marginalized, but I've definitely felt on the periphery. I wasn't part of the popular girl gang.
Right.
I think I watched the original series probably about 120 times. I think we watched it every single weekend in the 80s.
Right.
I think, look, you know, I'm a full-grown woman, and I do remember going to see Return of the Jedi. I'm trying to think if my mom and dad took us to see Empire Strikes Back. I'm not. I have a feeling that they did. I think I was just really
You were probably very little. You were probably very small.
a small child.
Yeah.
But that happens to be I mean, I think it's so many people's favorite Star Wars, you know, Empire Strikes, because it's dark and it takes a deep dive, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So you're learning this about me, that I'm a bit dark, and I like to take.
I love it. I love it. I feel like our fans love it. This is a very good thing for everyone to hear and see and know. You know, we're how people are getting, you know, talking to adults in this moment where no one's talking to anyone. So it's really good for everyone to hear us like talk about all of this.
This is me. So, but yeah, I don't care so much, and I'm careful with some things, because obviously the Overwatch community have welcomed me, and I'm a little bit careful about I'm a little bit careful about what I want to put out there, because it's still my life.
Yeah.
And I am pretty private about family, about, you know, stuff that I'm doing and my views, but at the same time, the mental health thing, you know, talking about masking and whatnot, that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
The stuff that's happening out there right now, the increase in attacks towards Asian Americans because of COVID-19, that's something that needs to be talked about. But yeah, you know, putting my best face forward is not necessarily the most important thing during these lockdown times. The most important thing to me is that I feel grounded, that I feel healthy, that my psyche is healthy. And if it's not, you know, it's more important for me to check in with myself than it is to post something. I love posting. Don't get me wrong. Remember, I love posting about my loquat tree. So, you know, and my dogs. I'm sure nobody else cares. I care. That's my tree out there.
We care too. We love loquat trees. It's good. We do.
I mean, she's the ledge.
I love it.
In line, there's a balance, but during these times, it's as and when I want to, and hopefully it's meaningful or it's light. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel at the moment with it? You know,
I feel like the most important thing that I can be doing right now is being a force for good, and a force for introspection, and a force for community, and for all of us to be checking in with each other and making sure everyone is okay, and doing what small things we can to take care of each other and help each other and reinforce that we are a really strong, beautiful community, all of us, and all of our that we are this unusual, unique thing, that when we support each other and when we're here for each other, we make each other feel human and remind ourselves of who we are. I feel like that's what it's about. And it's much less about like a trend, and it's much less about a thing. I mean, and in terms of my perspective on it right now, you know, I started talking about fashion content on Twitch because I felt like my gaming community, my gaming family, my Overwatch family, and all of the people and all of the cosplayers and gamers and people that I've met all over the world now at conventions are not being met in their home with the kinds of things that they would want from the kinds of people that they would want. And at the same time, these incredible independent designers and these incredible independent creators are in a retail environment that over the last decade has been devolving and has made it that much more difficult for these independent, incredible artists to be seen and to connect with this group who aren't able to find them because no one's putting them together. And I said, oh my God, you know what? This is a place where I'm able to bring these two communities together.
Yeah.
And it's been a bit of a challenge in this moment of like, okay, how do we bring everybody together? And so my thing the last couple of weeks has been, oh, I think I'm figuring out how to bring everyone together in this environment. So that's really what I've been thinking about. And it's far less trend based and much more self-expression based and much more about figuring out who your essence and who are you to you, and how can you support community, and how do we bring people together in ways that feel tangible and feel like you're supporting the right things in this moment where it's sort of boiled down of what is important and what isn't.
Yeah.
I haven't put that in words yet. That was the most verbalized I've put all of these, like the soup of thoughts I've been having about this issue.
And I understand it. I completely
Yeah.
because you know, because we go out into the world, and whether or not we're seeking it, we're validated. We're validated for the things that we do. And we find ourselves at home. Yeah, you know, on these platforms, you do get validation. You know, people can respond to you. It's amazing that the community can still speak back to you or respond to
Mm-hmm.
um, I do. If you don't have those, even if you don't have those platforms or that community, um, you can still feel validated. You know, by connecting with the things that make you feel like you know, that make up the
Mm-hmm.
being that is you, which is the love of fashion. You know, you're a VA. You know, you've got content creator as well. You all of these amazing things and so much more that I don't know about you. But to remind yourself of what you are.
We have so much time to do things.
Yeah, yeah. I've been told so many times that Jill of all trades, and I remember the first time I heard that, somebody then said master of none, and it was because I was painting a backdrop for a photo shoot, and my friend said, "This is Jeannie, she's an actress." But obviously, what I'm physically doing at the time is painting a backdrop.
Painting a backdrop, right?
Wait, you're an actress? And I said, yes. Oh, I went to art school as well, which is why I'm painting this thing for Diana and blah, 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 blah. And he was like, oh, a Jill of all trades, master of none. And I remember detecting that sort of judgy master of noneness from him. And it really,
Mm-hmm.
it took me a while just to realize, you know what, that's just one person. That's one person who has that belief. And there's nothing wrong with that belief of one straight line. You know, you have this seed from when you're very young, and that's what you're going to grow into. That's brilliant. I love that idea. That's just not me.
No.
And I want to try everything. I mean, I'm a metalsmith as well. You will find me in my studio up at the back of the garden, cranking out jewelry, working with turquoise and silver and gold, and my blowtorch, and I love it. I've got my full mask gear on it, and I'm bugging the neighbors like crazy with my hammer and just like texturizing everything. But I have a drummer our neighbor's a drummer at the back of our house. So I think he's gonna get it. We're just creating rhythm. I'm trying
Right.
to.
Of course.
Yeah, I used to teach yoga, trauma-informed yoga, to people who had PTSD, and also to the climbing community, the rock climbing community, you know, because I used to rock climb like 5 days a week. So there are all of these things, these hobbies, these loves, these passions, right, that we have. And I think, you know, why can't I share this with everybody? Why can't everyone know this about me? Because I know that there are people like me.
There are so many of us. There are so many of us. And whenever I'm at a convention and whenever I'm on a panel floor and people say, what advice would you give? I always am saying, throw all of the shit at the wall. When you have the idea, if you have the impulse to do it, you just throw it at the wall and you see what sticks. Because if you have no idea how your particular kinks are going to come together and create a fascinating, interesting career that no one could have but you.
Yeah.
Like, you're the only person who's going to have that particular career path because you're the only person who's obsessed with metalsmithing and basketball and makeup artistry. Like, you know, who knew that like there needs to be like basketball inspired metal makeup make? I mean, who knows what the hell it's going to be, but it's only you could have done it because you're the person who does those things. You know, you're the person who understands those things and understands how those things work together. I mean, you must pursue all of the muses. I that is always what I tell people. When I tell people when they're at the beginning of their careers or figuring out what their path is and are afraid that they don't have one path, but they have XYZ number of interests and it's time to buckle down and pick one. It's BS. It's you have to do it all. You
You do.
have no idea how it'll come together.
Because, you know, at some point you really might not be able to do it all. You really might not be able to because time, perhaps you have a family, you know, perhaps your work takes you away from it. If you feel, look, again, I'm a late bloomer. I am completely a late bloomer when it comes to really wanting to do the things that I wanted to do because I had, you know, my parents wanted the best for me. They wanted to steer me towards something that would bring in financial security.
Of course, they're parents, of course.
A parent, exactly. Um, and so I was really fearful about trying lots of things, even though I was already trying lots of them. And I get into adulthood and you realize I still have time to try these things before maybe it becomes a bit more challenging, or maybe because time becomes a little bit precious, or you know, it's taken away from you because you have something else that you have a responsibility for. So do it. If the muse strikes, if she taps you on your shoulder, if she's bugging the crap out of you and you're like, no, go away, I've got to do this or whatever this is, you know, just listen to her. She might have something good to tell you. She might tell you it's really exciting. She might tell you it's going to be a hard slog. But if you are constantly, you know, tapped, um, and you just have it within you. You have to try it, even if you know. It's like I love karaoke. I don't have a good vocal range, but I'll do it not because I'm any good, but because I just want to enjoy it. Me as a human being, I'm an instrument. That's amazing. I don't even need to pick up the ukulele and play poorly, or you know what I mean. I will pick it up, but I don't have to because we've got our voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's another thing that I've been doing during lockdown is I'll just sing. I'll just sing because it's expressing how I'm feeling. And it might be a bit of a sad song one day, or it might be a really happy, silly one, or it might be a metal song that I can, you know, like play along on the ukulele. And
What metal song are you playing on the ukulele?
really badly. I used to play Danzig a bit, you know, Maven. I love
It's amazing.
that song. So who doesn't love that song?
Yes.
I found that Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath songs are really difficult, um, even on the ukulele. But yeah, you know, yeah, I was going to say I can't play a lot of things, but the ones that I can, I'll play the shit out of them. And obviously, the Beatles, I will play the Beatles.
Liverpudlian. Liverpudlian.
And your friend Jonathan, who does the DJ.
Oh, with the vintage DJ, my buddy Jonathan.
Yeah. I was listening and I remember thinking, oh, I'm gonna play some Sam Cooke. I'm gonna play some, you know what I mean? It's funny that you need these reminders of, yes, I do love old Motown and Stax music. I grew up on that, you know?
Yes.
So that's the muse speaking to you. It's just a reminder from someone that, hey, remember you like this? What would it be like in this time of lockdown where you actually might be able to, you know, try it out? See how
I love this. Take the cues, follow the muse. Such good message. Ugh. Okay, wait. Ness, do we have, I know you sent me some. Do we have questions for fans that we can ask to Jeannie that when people are watching this afterward, since we're in stream Oh, yeah? Ooh, that's good. Okay, I don't. Yay! Oh, that's a fun question.
Well, well, in the virtual world, I have met, I've chatted with Carolina, uh,
Love.
Lucy on her immigrant jam, chatted with Anjali, chatting with you now,
Yay!
Chloe also, lovely.
Oh, what a doll. She's wonderful.
Um, I haven't officially met any of you in person. However, Lucy did a show in LA
This is the
and
funniest.
after the Oscars. You know about this. So I think it was after the Oscars. And my friend bought tickets to this one woman show. He was like, "Do you want to go see this? I got a notification from Brits in LA. There's a show going on. I'm going to buy 2 tickets." So she bought the tickets. I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, great, that's fine." So then on that Monday, I think it was a Monday, the show, um, I look it up again. I'm like, "Wait, who are we going to see?" And then I saw Lucy's picture. It was Lucy's really, 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 really real show. And I thought that name sounds so familiar. Let me look this lady up. And all of a sudden, it's like, she's an Overwatch. So I thought, wow,
Wah, wah.
it's going on. Yeah, wow, what's going on? The universe is playing tricks on me. So we go to the show. Before it starts, I'm standing there getting a hot chocolate because I'm like such an old lady. Oh, I'll have a hot chocolate before I go in. All of a sudden, in walks Carolina, Chloe, Johnny, Theo. I think that's it. I think that was it. And I'm like this going, "Oh,
Wait, hold on.
wait." And I'm just
Wait.
sitting there like, the lemon in the corner going, "Oh."
Lemon.
My friend's looking at me as if to go, "What's up with you? What's going on?" Remember that game I told you that I'm on? And it's talking about lots of different things, about being an actress, about doing stand up. And she talked a little bit about Overwatch. And, I needed that because obviously I'd looked up what Overwatch is. And I felt like, wow, I'm being given this first account information on what it means to be a voice actor on this game. Um, and she's hilarious and she's lovely, and that whole show is just
Yes, she is. She's wonderful. And the show is great. I love that show.
the way that she just takes you on this journey
Mm.
that does makes you giggle, it makes you laugh out loud. She did ask a question, and I raised my hand in the audience to answer it, and she high-fived me and everything. So we had a connection. She didn't know that I was.
She told me that she noticed you in the audience that day, that you were in the front and you're so gorgeous. And she was like, "Who is she? What is she doing at my show? Who is this?" And she said that she had a little like interaction with you during the show.
Yeah,
So yeah. And then when she found out who you were later afterward, and then she
yeah,
goes, "Oh, it was that girl. That's who it was." That was the so
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So
And I
the world is so small.
didn't stay behind or anything. I didn't introduce myself. I didn't want to give it away just in case, I was spilling the beans, and that kind of stuff can get out there, and all of a sudden on the internet it's like, "Hey everyone, this is what I heard
Right. Guess what? Right.
at the Lucy show." And so I was just really careful about not going over, and as much as I wanted to, because I could feel this amazing energy just from everyone that was there, that you guys are such a family, from the fans to the voice actors. You guys are such a family. I feel it. It's just like, oh, yeah. So I wanted to reach out. I wanted to say hi, but I was just doing I was doing the correct thing by keeping my distance. And yeah, and then she reached out to me once we'd announced Echo. She was like, "You." congratulations. And I was like, I wanted to tell you, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Jeff B has asked us twice about when and how you got your agent in LA, your VO agent.
Okay, let's talk about that because I think it's really helpful for everyone. It seems like it's such a closed community. I will say the voiceover community is extremely warm, welcoming. They share information.
Yes.
More than like on camera, TV, and film.
Jen.
So what my experience was, my friend is a voice actor, and I've done a little bit of voice acting off and on over the 15 years that I've been in LA. But I focused on TV, film, commercials. I never really thought about voiceover as an actual career. And I'm laughing because I have a friend who was the opposite of me. He was in my acting class. And he was like, I just want to be a voiceover actor. That's all I want to do. Like this young Morgan Freeman kind of vocal quality that's really deep. That guy's on TV all the time. He's on, and he was in Originals, my friend Charles Davis. He, and I was like, what happened to Charles? Just wanting to be a voice actor, right? So you don't know how your career is going to go. The muse might tap you, right? So listen out for her. Be receptive to her. So anyway, just going back to how I got my agent. It was about 3 years ago, and my friend Kerry has a voice agent at Vox. And I said, what do I need to do? I'm really thinking I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to take it seriously. I just want to do this right. And she said, well, just send me a demo reel. So this is one of the things that people do, whether it's in LA or wherever, and I think there's nothing wrong with doing it. I think, why would you not show a friend who has aspirations to be voiceover or an actor, and maybe they've been doing a lot of work and they have a reel. If I watch a reel or if I hear your audio reel, I might be like, that's really good. Of course you should get in front of a VO agent.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Friends, I will do that, with friends of friends, I will do that because it's hard enough to find someone.
Yes.
She just said, put a reel together. So I sat in my husband's car, not even with the right equipment. I had my phone with me and I had a couple of scripts, right? I had one for shampoo, one for a beer. I did animation and video game kind of chatter stuff as well, but then I also did lots of accents because I love doing accents. And I just recorded them on my iPhone. I edited them in GarageBand. And then I sent her the MP3. I was like, here you go. See what they say. And they took an interview with me. And very quickly they decided, okay, yeah, we're gonna take you on. And
wow.
And I know that sounds like, wow, that just sounds so easy. But it took me 3 years to get Overwatch. It took me 3 years to get something that is really significant. Before that, I wasn't booking that many. The ones that I did book were very good for my vocal quality and for my capabilities. But even when you have an agent, it can take a minute in an overly saturated market for someone to say, that's the flavor that we're looking for. We might not be able to verbalize what it is, what the ingredients are, but it makes this tingle, that go, oh yeah. So it's just keep on doing what you're doing. If you're looking for a voiceover agent, just keep on either creating your own voiceover content. Networking is great. I imagine it's probably a really good time to start reaching out to agents anyway, or even voiceover casting directors, just because they probably want something to do as well. I don't know. I'm not a voiceover casting agent, so I'm not sure, but just keep creating.
Keep creating is the best advice. That's That's clearly the best advice. I mean, what I keep on hearing right now from my agents, because I'm a big proponent of having people make their own content, make their own reels, listen to the right things, take certain number of lessons and listen to the kinds of things you want to be doing, and then put together a reel with that and collaborate with your friends, figure out who of your friends you can make things with. I mean, that's always big. Right now, what I've been hearing from engineers and from voice actors and from casting people is that you must have a broadcast quality recording situation at home in
Yeah.
order to be even in the ballpark right now. And
Yeah.
it's difficult to tell people, like, oh, at this moment, go spend the money for a broadcast quality setup right now. I think if you're in it, it's worth spending that money for it. Um, and it's not even, I mean, it's not nearly as expensive as it used to be able to have that. I mean, now it's a fraction of what it used to be. For half of what a good mic cost, you could have it,
Yeah.
but it still is not nothing. It's not cheap. So it's difficult to be like, go get it and then you'll see what happens.
I mean,
It's kind of hard.
I was asked, are you able to record at home? Until a week ago, no, no. Yes, I live in LA. We have we have a home here. Our home is tiny. There is literally no room in the closet, and it's not because I have a lot of clothes. It's literally because it's probably 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. It's tiny. So, and there isn't a door on one of the closets as well. So you're still getting all of this ambient sound around you. So my husband and I were like, well, what can we do? Because I used to just go to the studio and record, but you can't.
Right.
And I did look into doing that. I was like, I wonder if there's a way. But no, there isn't. So that was out of the question. So we did build out a space in the garage. Um, and obviously from working, I put money aside. I was able to take a little chunk of that and build this space that is soundproof because we're literally on the road. So when the garbage truck goes by, it sounds like the garbage truck is in your house. It's loud. It's really loud.
That's, I think that everyone is grappling with that right now. I mean, anyone who's at home and isn't like somewhere rural in the country, we're all, and I think that everyone understands that those are things that can't be helped. But so long as the quality of the room that you're in is good enough, that it's studio quality and that your gear sounds good enough and you've
I
got connectivity,
exactly.
bam.
I think my laptop is connected down there through Ethernet because
Okay.
it's super fast that way. Even the Wi-Fi was just too slow to be able to do a session. Um, what's the other thing? Oh, but even then, an engineer said to me recently, oh, you might consider getting a $1,000 mic, blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, all right, let me have a think about that. Let me soundproof
Yeah, you don't need that. Yeah.
get quality and just the recording quality spot on. And then if it's not, maybe then I'll look into it. There are lots of little elements that I had to look at, and all of
Yeah.
them. And honestly, who has that? I'm a jobbing actress. I'm in and out of work all the time. So you have to be mindful about what you can and can't do, and also know that it's okay if you can't.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up. We're in really an unprecedented situation here. Don't beat yourself up because the world is coronavirus is beating us up right now. We don't need to be unkind to ourselves or um,
Yeah.
you know.
But Jeff and Tina, are in the chat, and they've been talking about it. If you guys want the big engineer in the New York voiceover scene, who has been giving nonstop tutorials and will do private consultations, is a guy named Frank Verderosa. And you can find him on Instagram and you can find him on Facebook. And he's been doing nonstop seminars, tutorials, advising people about their gear, and then he'll do a little online consults with you. Yeah, he's fantastic. And for a small fee, He'll like listen to what you've got, listen to your setup, say, okay, you really need this for your room. You know what? Maybe you should get this as for connectivity instead of that. You don't need Source Connect if you have this, but he's wonderful. So yeah, he's fantastic. His name is Frank Verderosa, and he's been offering them all over the place.
Okay, yes, I will check.
That's him. You've got it. Adeptus Raven, that's him. Yeah, he's wonderful. And he's like become the go-to guy in New York of who everyone's going to. I mean, I also consult with from Jim Keneally and Sam at Lotus, and they've been wonderful, but they haven't been offering these like constant multi-time a week tutorials, and they're free, and they're Zoom seminars. He's great. And then you can have him listen to your room quality.
That's brilliant.
He's been great.
Questions that are coming in, and Tina Mikkel.
Yes, Tina, who's wonderful. Yes.
She says she's looking into investing into the Neumann TLM 103, and that is actually the mic that the engineer had suggested. And you're right, it is like 1.3K. So yeah, you know, that's a big purchase. I believe it is probably one of the best mics out there. But yeah, you know, there are just a lot of little things to figure out in your space, and if you can just get the recording quality right with what you've got, awesome. And then if you
don't need a Neumann TLM 49 right now. I'm TLM 103. You don't need it right now. I have a Neumann TLM 49. I have it because when I was pregnant with Mickey and I knew that I would be unavailable for stuff, I had a bunch of network spots running and I was the voice of a bunch of different things. And so I had to have a studio quality mic at home. And this is already over 10 years ago when they didn't have the incredible leap in technology that they have now of less expensive, amazing sounding condenser mics. And so back then, the mic to buy was the Neumann TLM 49 if you had to have something amazing. And it was a fortune. So I have it. That's why I have it. If I didn't have that situation at that time, I would not have a mic like that. There are such unbelievable, there's the Rode AT1A, which I think is $250 and people are kvelling over. They freaking love it. And I think it's $250 and it sounds amazing. There's a Shure one, I'm not sure which one it is, that's also completely fantastic. And that's the one that one of my agent's engineers is telling everyone to buy. This Shure one that everyone has that I think is $300. Like, your options are broad. You don't have to go in for that kind of money at this point.
It's one of those things where you hear about this mic and then you're like, oh, that's like the golden egg, or or the, why am I not thinking about what the phrase is? But like, that's the holy grail.
Right.
But then you kind of lose sight of everything else around you. It's like, no, let's just try to make do with what we have. And my husband's actually a good person at reminding me, let's just see what we can do first. Before you can buy a $5,000 whisper room, let's see what we can build. You know, let's see blankets first before crazy over it. Because you want to do a good job, and I understand that. I wanted to do a really good job, and I thought that's the only way I can do it. You know, but then I talked to a lot of engineers, and they were like, you don't need that.
I mean, a lot of people, if you've got a fabric room divider that closes that closet so that that's what the sound is bouncing off of as you record into your closet, that sounds great. Like, there you go. You got it. Right, exactly. I record, you guys have seen, I've streamed out of it before. I call it Pantry Productions. I record in my pantry. You can see the bananas hanging next to me. That is the tightest, best sound space in my house, and the sound is sensational. I did not get a whisper room. I did not get Pantry Productions, and so far every engineer who's heard it is like, oh my God, it's great. Dude, you make it work. Definitely. Oh, listen, Tina, you got to listen to you. You got everything. You're great. The Sennheiser 416 is fantastic. It's a great mic. Oh wait, I'll take a look and find what
I had the same like sort of issue. I do photography, so it's like, do I buy the $3,000 insane camera that does everything, yada yada yada, or do I buy the one I know I can use and figure out $1,000 one, which is the one I end up getting, and Sony A7 II.
Oh, it's great.
and everyone wants the Sony A7 III because it does all this other stuff and whatever. And so I get asked if I bought a 3, but I've been making do with the 2, and it's yeah, it's doing good work. It's got me jobs. Yeah.
That's yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's just it's we're in such an incredible moment for technology and how good gear is at lower price points. I mean, the leap is unthinkable. If you had told me 10 years ago how good the quality of things would be that are not that expensive, relatively speaking, my mind would have been blown. It's like incredible.
I think I'm trying to see. I saw a comment before, but there's nothing wrong. Tina, again, there's nothing wrong with buying used as well, because there are people upgrading their equipment all the time. There are such techies out there, and I love those guys, right? Because then they make those products affordable for us. You know, we can get them maybe 6 months or even a year later, and they're in pristine condition. They take care of their stuff, so you don't have to buy brand new if you a can't afford it or don't want to pay for it brand new. You know, there are so many options out there for us.
Yes. Okay. That mic that I was, it's the SM7B, the Shure SM7B, and the Rode NT1A are the two that I keep on hearing are the ones that are
Have the road.
amazing. Just FYI. Just
Yeah.
yeah. But do we Ness? What else we got, honey?
I was gonna say this has become a voiceover podcast.
I know. Who knew? We're giving all this VO instruction. It's
VO,
great.
send in your your
I
reels.
love it. I know. Unexpected. We took an unexpected turn.
In your reels. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these questions you've answered because people were fascinated at the fact that you had to do every other voice in the game, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, yeah, exactly. And so you had no background based on. Let me see what else you got here. Hold on, give me a quick sec. Someone asked if Echo takes. How does Echo take her cereal for some reason? Is it milk first or cereal first?
It would be cereal first. If she ate, it would be cereal first.
Well, yeah,
yes, definitely. Yeah, that's a good question.
although I'm not a am I okay, so growing up in England, yes, I ate cereal all the time. Now I make broth. I make lunch for breakfast. I'm such a broth girl, you know, like Asian vegetable broth with a bunch of veggies thrown in and an egg cracked in it. That's the kind of brekkie girl I am. You know, and I might have breakfast for dinner or for a snack in the
I
evening.
love doing that.
Oh, that's
I love doing that.
That goes without saying, yeah.
Yeah, I have become the quarantine bone broth queen. I have been making bone broths constantly. Like everything, like if we roast a chicken, I'm saving the bones. If we eat anything, whatever the meat is, whatever the bones are, I'm saving it, and then I'm making the broths with all the leeks and the herbs. It's been so good.
Leeks are the best.
Leeks are the best.
Don't get enough.
Leeks are the best. Yes. Yeah, it's been delicious. I love it. Yeah, and I just learned this weekend I made my husband is saying it's the best thing I've ever made ever. And I'm a good cook. So for him to say it's the best thing I ever made ever is like dramatic. I'm like, holy crap. It's a recipe. It's a Roman dish called uova and tripa. And it's usually a dish that's made during Lent. And all it is freaking eggs in tomato sauce. And it's eggs that are prepared to have a pasta-like mouthfeel. So you make the eggs in a certain way. And so you make a homemade delicious tomato sauce, like, you know, with lots of shallots and herbs and delicious stuff in it. And then it's almost like you make very thin egg crepes that then you cut into noodles that then you saute in the sauce and put more Parmesan cheese on it. We devoured a platter of it this weekend, and he has been talking about it, and now his freaking mother called me saying she needs the recipe to whatever the egg dish is because she was told that it was the best thing ever. I know. Uova and tripa. I had no idea. I'm like, wow. Yeah. 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 It was great.
Is that it's Italian or is that Latin?
Italian. It's a Roman, it's a very classic Roman dish. And supposedly there's an Italian restaurant in the West Village that serves it all the time. And the chef from the restaurant during this pandemic was asked for the recipe so many times that she released the recipe and the instructions and made a video. And a friend of mine posted the video, and I went, "Ooh, I want to make that." And I made it, and it was a home run. He's talking about it days later.
How many eggs did you use in it?
Raise 6 eggs. 6 eggs, and we each ate 3 eggs worth of. We gorged on freaking uova and tripa. It was great.
We're on lockdown. I'm like, how many eggs do we have?
Right. If you guys want, I'll post the video in the chat. I'll give you the link to the video of her making it.
One question I got here is, what's the first thing you're gonna do once we leave quarantine? Do you have any idea what you're gonna do?
Oh my gosh.
Once we escape.
I think I'm going to go to the beach and dip my feet in the... I'm not doing that right now. I don't think it's time to do that. And I know that's not, I don't think it's time.
I just came from the beach before this call. No,
how was it? How you okay?
It sounds good.
No, but yeah.
Sounds great. I'm looking for this video to send you guys. Oh my God. Wow. What's the first thing I'm gonna do? The first thing I'm gonna do.
Mine is probably gouge myself with food. It's probably gonna...
You just want to go, you're just in gorging mode?
Yeah.
I haven't stopped eating this entire time, so I don't need to eat anything. I'm good.
I might be done with cooking though.
For a while.
I might be done with cooking and washing pots and pans, but it's been
I want to go hug everyone. I have so many people to hug. Holy crap. I want to go sit in a great restaurant with a big group of people, pressed tush to tush. I want to be like squeezed. Right, exactly. I want to be like elbowing and yelling across the table and laughing. And we're all drinking and elbows and eating some big dish served family style where we all have to like serve ourselves out of the center dish. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think about. I'm like, oh, that's what I want. It seems so crazy, just before all of this happened, while things were already going crazy in Italy, and I was in Paris, Lucy, and then we were in England. But there was a night early in the trip in Paris where I was with a group of friends in this very popular restaurant. It was packed. You had to squeeze your way through the tables. Mind you, everyone in Paris was there for Fashion Week and had just come from Milan. So now when I think about it, it's like, oh my God, we were like, who would even believe? But we're squeezing in and we're smushed up and we're tush to tush, shoulder to shoulder, and so close and all talking. And the host of the restaurant, the hostess, the maitre d', is walking around getting kisses from everyone in the restaurant. And like you're expected to like give her, kitten and the one thing my American mother had said, she was like, please don't kiss all the strangers. I know you're in Paris. Don't kiss everyone. Just don't kiss everyone. And I'm like, and I didn't go to kiss her. The maitre d', she was like waiting for her kiss from me, and I didn't. And she definitely like took offense. She was like, oh, okay, all right, miss, all right. And I think about that, and I'm like, I want to be back in a restaurant where I've squished so tight and can kiss the maitre d' if I'm expected to, and eat everything and be yelling over a table.
I think food has to play a big part in whatever we do once we come out of quarantine, thinking I want to invite all my friends over to the house.
Yes.
And we'll have a fire pit.
Yes.
And just have everybody bring their favorite dish with them and maybe bust out the karaoke mic and sing.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about entertaining. I was like, oh my God, like to have people over. I would love to have people over. Like that would be, ugh. I mean, you know, even though it means more cooking and even though it means more of all, but
More being inside.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I would love to just have everybody over and have us all yelling and talking. Ah, I miss it.
Someone mentions AJ needs help, mentions I want to get sushi so badly. I feel you. I feel you. Sushi.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
We've gotten takeout sushi a few times since this has happened. We have. And it was honestly like being on vacation. It was the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Wait, Sugarfish delivers in LA.
Oh, it does. Okay. That's the thing. I've been cooking everything and forgetting. Like, wait.
Right.
Yeah.
The 3 meals I have not cooked this entire time were 3 times that we got sushi.
Oh yeah.
Sugarfish.
I have
And you
saved.
can go pick it up. You can order it and go get it.
I've saved a lot of money since quarantine has started. Honestly, I haven't been going outside at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
And
No,
man,
I mean, look, there's good and not so good about quarantine, but you know, saving money, that's a good thing.
Yes.
I've gotten sleep.
Yes.
I was on a I was on a nonstop. Jen knows I was on a nonstop. What, like 15-hour work cycle every day for 5 days a week.
You were a madman for a few months. You were a madman.
What were you doing?
I would work from 7 a.m. to approximately like 3 or 4. Immediately either go to Jen and we'd do a stream and do stuff till like late at night.
Mwah, thank you. Oh my God, you're too much. You're too freaking much. Thank you.
If it wasn't Jen, I had some event going on at some like gaming like studio. What is it? Gaming cafe, which they would have shoots. I had to do the Giants one day. I had to run to Jen's because I didn't have the right equipment.
He did photos for NYXL. He was like a madman. He was everywhere. He was staging photo shoots. He was shooting for other organizations. He was streaming for me. He was working all day. He was running back and forth. You were like on fire. You were like a madman.
There was once recently. It was Saturday night, and I was debating going to DC, and then they were like, "Yeah, come tomorrow, the first thing in the morning." So I went to DC for a day trip from. That was a lot. So I'm thinking back now. I'm like, I'm probably gonna do that as soon as this. Like, I'm not gonna be home ever again. Like,
you'll never be home again. No, you know, and it'll be exciting to run around again. I know. I mean, guys, I was away for 6 weeks almost. 4 weeks consecutively, but 6 weeks where I think I was home for like a total of 8 days over those 6 weeks. It was insane. It was crazy. Now I'm like, oh. Hello, hi, hey Taylor. Hello, welcome back. I know. Classes and your demo and quarantine.
Thank you,
I know.
Tina. Yeah.
No madness, Tina. You're too much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Do we have any other wonderful questions that we want to ask?
I'm out. That was yeah.
You got it covered. Thank you, Ness. Thank you, Ness. Because I think I'm so sorry that we had that dropout in the middle of the stream, but what's great is we have it recorded, and what's great is that we have the whole thing. So I'm going to put it all in highlights, and so everyone can go back and watch the section. We went deep.
We did.
And for it. Jeannie, I loved that. I know we got super philosophical. I loved that. That was really good. We will definitely do this again. Are you kidding? This is just the beginning, for sure. For sure. Well, guys, we can't talk conventions yet because we got to figure out what the heck is going to happen with conventions. I still have things scheduled, but I don't know what's going to be. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's happening.
Are you gonna be well? How about that? Are you gonna go to conventions once quarantine's over?
Yeah, as soon as I'm able to do conventions safely, I will definitely be back to conventions. I mean, I love getting FaceTime with fans. I love giving squeezes to the fans and hugging everyone and doing pictures and getting eye to eye. I mean, that's been the most outrageous gift of this whole adventure. And so to not have that FaceTime with you guys and have that like quality connection time is like, I love that. So I can't wait for that.
And then you, Jeannie, are you gonna start going to them?
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty excited. I've never been to a convention. I don't know what to expect,
Oh man.
You'll
but
love it.
I know that I know that it's a lot of fun and people love going. I have friends who've been going to Comic-Con for years. Like I think my friend Eli, he had been going for about 13 years or so.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah. So there's I know that this whole world I don't know much about, but I'm
Yeah.
just to meet everyone because everyone has been so welcoming and so lovely. So why would I not want to go meet them? And also to meet you guys in real life, this virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going since 2000 like 12. Every New York Comic Con I've been going to.
And Jeannie, the
And
VAs have a great time. We tend to go and get in trouble and go on adventures and go to restaurants and look for trouble in all the wrong places. It's great. We all have very good stories.
All of the Overwatch VAs. I'm very excited.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
BlizzCon, hopefully. San
Oh,
Diego San Diego just got canceled. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. Otakon just got canceled today. Today
Oh,
was
really?
the,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
when it's safe.
Soon. So when it's safe, we will be back in the convention centers hugging you. Can't wait. Good. Hugging you. Guys, thank you for hanging with us in all this craziness. Jeannie, you are absolutely a doll. You are just the loveliest. I can't wait to hang out with you again. And yes, Maisie, I agree. We should do a big Zoom call with everybody. We're all kibitz. That'll be really fun. That'd be nice. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, joining the girl gang, joining the fam. And Ness, my muse, my bud, my pal, thank you as always for being so great and being such a help, and particularly in this ridiculous stream where things sort of fell in and out. I
Yeah,
love
it
that
was
you.
it was it
So
was
thank
a
you.
mess. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Um, guys, follow Jeannie on all her socials. Follow Ness on all his socials. I will be back later this week. I have to reschedule one thing that I was doing. And guys, with our dance party that got messed up, thankfully the patient is fine. It's now been 24 hours, and I think we're out of any danger for his concussion issues. I don't think I said this in the beginning, but Rob is fine. He came in the middle of our dance party with a bloodied head, and I didn't know if we had to get him to the emergency room or not. But we spoke to several doctors, and he wasn't exhibiting really frightening signs. And we observed him very closely all night, and he's fine. So he's good. So thanks. But we need to do a dance party do-over. So we're going to do a dance party do-over, and then I have something else awesome scheduled that I need to move now. So that'll be another day this week too. So I will see you later this week. Watch on Insta and Twitter for times and dates and when and where. And we'll see you soon. Bye, family.
Yeah.
Bye, family.
Stay